Hey, I keep seeing this eye tightener stuff coming across my Facebook and Instagram feed. They put it on with a brush. And while I love the effects that I had been getting with our eye tightener, I always hated that it left little ridges on the outer edges of my face. Well, I've been putting it on with my fingers. So I thought, why not give this a shot and see about putting it on with a brush? That would make so much more sense. If your primer and your foundation look smoother with a brush, why wouldn't the eye tightener? So let's try this and see what happens. So I'm going to put a little bit of it on the back of my hand, and ours, they recommend about as much as a grain of rice. So I'm just going to smooth it out on there. Now, I don't have huge bags today, but they could definitely use a little tightening. So I'll put it on here, which is the worst one right now. And then same as all of them, you do have to give it a few minutes without moving your face in order to see any effect from it. You also have to make sure that the under eye area is totally dry. I did wash my face and I used my cleanser and my moisturizer and my sunscreen. And I used my eye cream, but then that was about half an hour ago. Right before I came on camera, I just dabbed the under eye area with a dry cloth just to make sure it was totally dry. So that's the only things that I have done off camera, but we're gonna let this take effect on camera. So I'm gonna show you the next thing that I like to do, because as long as I have been wearing makeup and as many classes as I have had and everything, I still tend to get mascara on my eyelids when I'm doing this. So I'm really good at stabbing myself, especially in the corner of the eye. So a little cheat that I do, ladies, if any of you have the same issues, and I can do this without making funny faces, I don't have to hold my mouth open to put my mascara on. I hold the brush relatively still, and I blink past it. And then instead of dropping my jaw big, huge, I just tilt my head down and look up to get the lower lashes. Dropping the jaw has never helped me at all. But I do the first 2 coats. And yeah, I say first 2 because I usually wear 3, because I like to do 2 coats of this Ultimate and 1 coat of our Lash Intensity. I'm just putting on like the outer half, I guess, of the lashes. So I don't normally run into the same problem of getting it all over everything. Yep, see, there we go, on my eyelid. So I wait for just a moment for that to kind of settle in. And another trick that I see, well, not trick, I don't say, that I see so many people do all the time, especially when they're trying to badmouth foundations, is that they're pumping it all over their face and they're letting it drip and they're talking about how, oh, isn't this just terrible? It sinks into all of your pores and it accentuates the fine lines and wrinkles. Well, honey, that's not how you put foundation on to start with. Primer. I still prefer to put my primer on with my finger because I want to make sure that it's gliding across the surface of my skin. This has an SPF 15 in it. I'm not going to get up underneath my under eye because after this video I am going to be putting more of the tightener on this side. I don't have huge bags. I'll have to try this on somebody that does at some point so you guys can see. But I can feel that it's tightening and firming already, and I think it's definitely smoother. So I definitely like this idea of putting it on with a brush. I really don't know why that never occurred to me before. My timer says at the 5-minute mark, so I can very carefully put a little bit of primer over it. I'm just going to dab. You really never want to pull and tug at the skin under your eyes anyway. It is much more tender, gentle, whatever you want to call it, than the skin around the rest of your face. And tugging and pulling will make those bags and wrinkles worse. So there we go. I put that on. And then I'm going to, now the very top of this will probably have dried in this amount of time. So I'm going to smash it down so that I can get to the new moist product underneath. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to apply it to this under eye. Very carefully, a lot of dabbing to get the product on, and then just a little brushing to smooth it out toward the corners. Okay, and then please always clean your brushes. Okay, now that other trick that I was talking about with the mascara. Here we go. We're gonna do the second coat of mascara. Now I'm not putting on the bottom lashes this time. I do one coat of this on the bottom lashes and one coat of the lash intensity. Because honestly, the older you get, the more stuff you put under your eyes, the older your eyes will look. And I have been doing my makeup since I was about 8 years old. All right, now I'm gonna take a really light concealer. Obviously this would be a little too pale to use on my face as an actual concealer. And I don't know why I put it in the crease. That's just where it ends up. You can put it wherever. I'm gonna take that same brush that I just cleaned. Anywhere on your eye is fine. And I'm gonna come down. This is priming my eyelid. This is also how you help keep your eyeshadow in place all day. See, I'm just kind of, it's not completely getting rid of it, but it is smoothing out those spots that I've hit my eyelid. And after 30 seconds, the rest of that mascara up there kind of on my nose can just flake right off. And if you look really closely, you'll notice that my hand is never blurred. My eyebrows are never blurred. My mouth moves at the same time as the rest of me. I have pores, I have fine lines, I have some funny little spots, no filters. Okay, so I do that first. Then I take just some clear setting powder, translucent setting powder, and I take a nice fluffy eyeshadow brush like this, tap it in, tap off the excess, and this makes sure that the concealer is dry and set in place so that it will hold my eyeshadow in place instead of letting my eyeshadow all end up in my crease. Okay, and now I can feel this eye. It's not quite as tight, probably because I let the product was a little bit drier, but I can feel and I can see that it's done a little bit. I don't have as much of a bump right here. I will see if I can get my mom to come on camera and do this at some point because she's got the bigger bags, and we'll test this theory again. All right, see y'all later. Bye.